Press. Hello, welcome to the Business of Life with Dr. Ariel Rosita King. And today we have a very, very special guest. Sir Doza is going to be speaking about marketing for non-governmental organizations, or what we call NGOs. Welcome, sir.
Dr. King, thank you so much for having me. Yes, my name is Ispiyak Doza. I am joining in all the way from Bangladesh, and I am known as the marketer to nonprofits because I work with various nonprofits. And yeah, I'm here to talk about marketing, which I think is something that not all nonprofits get it right, I guess you could say. And so yeah, I'm just here to talk about what's some of the ongoing trends that people in the nonprofit sector can onboard to make sure that the message is reaching the right audience so that they can get that funding in, which is the main. You have a cause that you want to support, but you need funding for everything, and therefore it's important we get that right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Listen, you're such an amazing gentleman. Would you just tell us a little bit about you as a person?
Okay,
You and I know each other in other ways, and I think that is quite important. So would you tell us about you as a person, sir?
Sure. So I'm a third-gen entrepreneur based in Bangladesh, and obviously I'm also actually you know this, but a lot of people may not. I am a Rotarian as well for the last 4 or 5 years, and currently I'm serving as the digital image public officer for the Rotary Club of Global Impact, and I also serve as the marketing director for an organization out of Washington D.C. called the Government Blockchain Association. So my passion, I think I get this from my dad, who was a member of Lions. I remember him being a member of Lions when he was younger. And we have always had this thing about giving, okay, and or contributing our time, skills, whatever we have, what we can afford to, contribute to nonprofit initiatives. And that has stayed with me, I guess, generationally. So my dad is no longer around, but I am carrying on some of the work, and yeah, that's and I think it's something about being a marketer also that I do believe that as a marketer, I can make any cause louder so that more people can hear about, can learn more about what an organization doing and therefore support it. So yeah, that's where I come in basically.
Thank you. So that was a great introduction. So let's get into it. Let's talk about marketing for NGOs.
Sure, sure. So uh, about marketing, all right. And my background is basically in content creation. And as I mentioned, my job is basically to amplify nonprofit organizations and their voices. And these days, I'll be very honest, almost every organization we know, if they're not using it, they should be using it, artificial intelligence, which has made things a lot easier. There was a time when you could create a campaign, it would take you sometimes 1, 2 weeks, sometimes even a couple of weeks. Nowadays, you can go from literally that day I did an exercise and where I was trying to create a shop for Printify. And even though the shop has not launched, but the ideation, the design, the logos, everything happened in approximately 24-hour period. That's it. Okay. And it's now I just have to find some digital products that I want to promote, and that's it, and it's done. So that's the thing.
Wow.
All right. Artificial intelligence has made it extremely easier. And therefore, but I don't see that many, unfortunately, I don't see that many on nonprofits utilize AI as much. This is something I've seen. Today, of course, when it comes to nonprofits, you have to have an online presence. We call it the era of, at least I like to call it the era of digital dominance. Okay, if you're not online, if you don't have a strong presence online, your nonprofit is not going to raise enough capital or funding to support anything. And yeah, and obviously, with all the way I look at it, I always tell anyone that, listen, you have to have a website, you have to social media profiles, and you have to make it as seamless as possible for them to find you and learn about you and contribute to your cause. I call it like, it should be as easy as, scrolling on Instagram. Okay, I found you. Okay, found a nice profile. I'm scrolling it. Okay, I like this. I like what this person. I like what Dr. Ariel is doing. All right, let's just, there's donate button there. This is the cost. I'm pressing on that. I'm sending you money. That's it.
That's fabulous. Can I ask you, you've worked with various not-for-profits. Um, how do you think that not-for-profits could actually start to look at and learn about marketing and why it's important for them in order to sustain themselves?
That's a very good question, and I I'll be very honest. All right, I meet a lot of. I mean, in the non-profit sector, there's a lot of people who are folks who are very passionate about what they do, but maybe they come from a technical background, maybe they come from a business and managerial background, and yes, most people know how to market a little bit, but they don't. I think you do need someone with a proper marketing background, like myself, who has a degree in marketing, who knows about every little, like I'll be very honest, marketing is an exercise. It's an experiment. That's what I call it. A lot of people from technical background, I've noticed in my work with some of the technical non-NGOs NGOs I work with, is that they tend to believe that 1 plus 1 is has to be 2. All right, but in marketing, it's almost like what? Yeah, 1 plus 1 can be 10, considering the one and the other one is it's it's the right ones. All right, and I think a lot of people. I'll be very honest. A lot of us marketers get fired a lot. By the way, all right, because most people tend to hire us thinking they're going to get overnight success, and that doesn't come because I tell them it's a process. All right, you start right now. Maybe 2 months down the line, we'll figure out, okay, this is our target audience. So we need to cater. These are the people who are, sending us the funds. So we need to cater our marketing campaign around them. Okay, bring in more, find more people like, those who are supporting us right now. And it's not easy. It's a process. It's a process, and it's always being refined. And of course, the one of the biggest problems that we have right now is the social media platforms that we're using also depend on something called algorithms, right? The algorithms keep changing, and therefore what's working last week may not work this week or next month. And therefore we're like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem to be reaching the right impression. So, we might have to, readjust our strategy, see what else they're doing.
Can you
One
tell us
tip
more
I would
about,
give.
pardon me, can you tell us more? That's such a good point. So please excuse me for interrupting you. Algorithms is so important. Can you explain more to us and the audience what algorithm is, how it works, why it's important, and then how it actually affects, for example, a marketing campaign? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you a very good example. LinkedIn. All right, it's one of my favorite platforms, but a lot of people don't know this. But LinkedIn likes to have people. When people are on the site, they want them to be there. So whenever you put a link in a LinkedIn post that diverts people from LinkedIn to elsewhere, that post gets less reach. Okay, they they don't allow it to get maximum reach. Um, so algorithm is basically a programming language, the programming on which the social media platforms is, built and everything. And the algorithms determine um, in advance, I guess you could say, which, based on their business decision and everything, exactly which post will reach whom and whatnot. Okay. There's a lot more into that. Obviously, I'm not a technical expert, by the way, but I know enough that, okay, each and every social media has its own nuances that you need to understand and work with. And like I said, you always have to be on your, it's like on your on your toes all the time, keeps you on your toes all the time, because they're always updating it. Whenever people figure out how to make funds come their way, okay, let's update it, make it more difficult, make it more this, make it more that. It's a little bit of an annoying. It's, in my opinion, it's a bit annoying, but unfortunately, these platforms have to make money as well. So yeah.
Thank you. That was very good. I really appreciate that. So what are your top, I would give 5 suggestions for NGOs use marketing. And even more importantly, I'd love to know more about to explain in the simplest way why it's important to hire a person like you, or to have a person, if not hire, have people within the organizations that are specifically looking at marketing and making changes when changes are needed. And why is it important? Just as it would be important in a for-profit business.
Yeah, so my pitch for that would be basically most of the people in leadership position in nonprofits have too much going on. Okay, they are always you need someone like me to at least um, make it a more efficient process. For example, I know I've worked with enough nonprofits to know that sometimes they're just they have a completely wrong idea of who they're targeting and what their message should be. Okay. As a result, what happens often is they waste a lot of time chasing, going after, calling, getting on calls with people who will most likely never support them. A marketer like myself can do something. For example, I used to offer this service called ideal customer profile. So I create a profile for you, Dr. King Solutions. I will go to your website. I'll take some data from there and I'll see, okay, you know what, Dr. King, this is her target audience. It will come up with the demographics. It'll be psychographic. It'll be, age, gender. I'll come up with the whole thing. Used to charge $250 for that. Now, because of AI, and by the way, it also used to take a lot longer as well. Sometimes a week or two would cost me. Nowadays, I charge about $25. I use AI delivery within like 24 hours. And once you know that, you can target better. You can, reach out to your audience, more efficiently. So you need someone like me to help you from wasting time on the wrong people. Okay. So, and plus, a lot of, there is a, when it comes to marketing, there's a lot of, in certain places you have videos work better in some cases. In some cases, graphics work better. In some cases, posts work better. So, as a leader in a nonprofit, would you be spending, hundreds of hours per week trying to work, create these, or would you actually be going out there trying to raise funds? Okay, and with the help of the marketing. So the marketer in the nonprofit is always a supplement. Okay, he will not a supplement. I would say, what's the word I'm looking for here? Um,
Maybe a
Complement.
partner.
Yeah, partner. Yeah, exactly. So, it's a partnership. All right. The marketer does all the work. He makes you louder, as I mentioned. Okay. He makes what do we do louder in the ecosystem, because it's not just your nonprofit, it's every nonprofit out there who's trying to grab attention. And my job is to make, or the job of most marketers is to make them stand out. So that's why you need us.
Thank you. That was so well said. Would you give us one or two stories about a company, you don't have to name them, of how they started, of what you did in order to bring them along, and perhaps the start of any success they might have? And also understanding that it is a process, that nothing is overnight, of course. Thank you.
So I can probably talk about there's only a couple of common organizations that I work with, all right. But my story-wise, it's kind of difficult because most of the organizations I work with are still kind of new, and we are still trying to figure out a lot of stuff. Okay. I don't know if I have any anecdotal, but I do. I maybe some, sometimes, a post. One thing I've noticed, actually, this is not new, but I knew it, but it's just I didn't use it as much. There was a story I wrote about an organization I'm part of. Sorry about that. A part of, and it was about how I found the organization, the reasons behind why it happened, and that drove a lot of traffic to the organization's website. Okay. So I wouldn't say that it converted into a donation or something of the sort, but that's the thing. You get people who didn't know about this organization now suddenly know, oh, wait a minute, that's a really cool story that Istiaque has shared. So, let's visit this website and see what they're up to. And there's a you can see a spike in the website analytics and everything. And yeah, it's one of the few. I wouldn't say I have had many wins. I would be very honest, but
Yeah,
you
no, but
keep
can I say
on
I think
trying.
that's a win. Let me say
Hmm.
this, some people think that the win is just how much money do you get? And yes, of course, for not-for-profits, this is one of the ways that we actually build our coffers in order to deliver services. Yes. But just the fact that more people have gone to the website to know about the business is also a win because not
Yeah,
everything is measured in
true.
one donation, right? And one donation is
Absolutely,
nice, but
absolutely.
it's a one-off. But if somebody knows about the organization, perhaps at some point actually tells others about the organization, or even knows that it exists when it does come that time that they might be thinking about donating in someone's name, donating to someone's birthday, or if someone has passed away, or if they just want to donate because once a year they donate, or not. Or sometimes people give other donations besides cash. So I would say that just the fact that you were able to drive more people to an organization that was not known is a win, right? Not every
Yeah.
win comes in a donation of whatever in euros, dollars, yens, liras. I think that part of the win
Yeah.
also is in knowing about organization. So wonderful, wonderful.
I do want to mention that, just in my opinion, storytelling works. Okay. Videos work. Videos are really good right now. Okay. If anyone who's listening to this, get on Instagram, I'm not on TikTok, but TikTok is driving, whether you like them or not, it's driving a lot of traffic, all right, to nonprofits as well. And use AI tools. If you have but I would say get a budget of about $200, get some good AI tools. There's I've reviewed some of them on my website, and you can use some of them. It would be it would help you. It will hiring a marketing professional is expensive, by the way. Okay. And the AI tools do get you a lot of the way there. That's what I'd say.
Thank you. What are your favorite tools then that you'd like to tell us about? Just your particular favorites.
So my particular favorites are Jasper. It's a marketing tool that I use to write copy. I also use for SEO purpose. I use Surfer SEO. It helps me do keyword research. Actually, it also helps me write articles as well, and then I refine them a lot. And what else is there? There's also one more. Obviously, ChatGPT is there, right? ChatGPT. It's everyone's favorite, I think. For graphic work, I use Night Cafe and Leonardo. Those are my two favorites. And yeah, I think that's those five are basically what I use basically. Yeah.
Thank you. That's really amazing. Thank you so much. And can you tell us also more about, I mean, I know that you have a degree in marketing and you do marketing. Can you tell us in general more about your business and if you're open to business all over the world and how you do that? So after this podcast, you might have people think, oh, wow, Mr. Doze is the person I want to go to. So could you tell us more about if you work with people all over the world? I'm sure you do, and how? So then they know more about the services that you offer. Thank you, sir.
Sure. For marketing, well, obviously now I do marketing for a lot of nonprofits, and of course now I do help individuals when they come to me as well. All right, with their individuals and companies when they come to me with their marketing help. I am a partner at an organization called Modular Associates. It's a marketing agency based out of North Carolina. By the way, thoughts and prayers to them. Yeah, as you know, there's a huge, hurricane, unfortunately devastating the area right now. Um, anyway, so basically, I work with a team, depending on the project. All right, if someone reaches out to me for any kind of marketing help, I can, I offer a 30-minute free consultancy. To anyone. Usually, I'll be very honest. It sometimes can last for an hour and a half. Sometimes, because it just, if I find something interesting someone is doing, I'm very curious. I want to learn more, and that can just, if I have a slot free, it just goes on. Um, uh, as for other work I do, I'm also involved in the eco-friendly sector or sustainability sector. I am on a mission to make my country of Bangladesh energy independent. To that end, I do source solutions that will, I mean, once the people here start buying it and onboarding it and I guess you could say installing the solutions, I do believe that it will save us a lot of money in the long run. And we are, Bangladesh is not the richest country on the planet. Every dollar we send out to buy oil and gas, if I can mitigate even like 10%, 15% of that in my lifetime, I would be very, very happy. So that's one of the areas that I am eager to work with. If anybody has a solution, eco-friendly solution that they think that there's a market for in Bangladesh, please come to me. We have already signed up one uh, country exclusive deal with an organization by the name of Climatenza. They do solar thermal technology, and the market size is about $4.5 billion. So, we are very excited. And yeah, we are looking forward to helping our country, like I said, become more
Thank you, sir. You're truly
energy
a
independent.
Renaissance man. You're truly, truly a Renaissance man. It's really nice to also
I
know
just
that
try,
besides
I just try
marketing,
my
you're
best.
doing,
That's all.
yeah, that you're also looking at environment and looking at sustainability and so on and so forth. That's wonderful. Can I ask you, just as a Rotarian, and Rotarians, of course, are in business, not for profit, wherever you can find a person, anywhere you find a Rotarian. Can I ask, can you just tell me any of your favorite stories about being a Rotarian and what you experienced? Thank you, sir.
I think I don't have a favorite story because my entire when I met you first, I was a Rotarian here in Bangladesh, all right. And obviously, I'm still in Bangladesh, but my club now is obviously, in North Carolina, under Marty and everything. And Dr. Pauline, I think yes, you were
Yeah,
our
so
guest.
tell me about your any experience that you had meeting someone, any experience you had with any talk, anything at all. Because many people don't know about Rotary, and I think that Rotary is a quite
So
interesting organization.
definitely, definitely. Once again, all right. I think has been honestly a blast completely. The thing about Rotary is that our club particularly is that we bring in so many different types of guests. It's um, it's always amazing to learn about what everyone is doing. We do offer, as you know, we offer twice a month. We bring in guests to tell us about what they are working on, what their passion projects is. And I don't know if I can single out any event, but I do know that every month I look forward to the meetings because I want to know who's coming. And well, I know a little bit because I'm the one who's marketing, I'm doing the web copy and everything. But at the same time, actually, hearing from them their story, um, in its entirety, why they're doing what they're doing, okay, why it's important. It's I wish, the more people would find out about them so they could support what they're doing, basically.
Oh, you belong to, even though you're physically in one country, you belong to an international Rotary Club. Do I understand that you won some type of award? Did you win some type of award, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, yeah. I received the award for Rotarian of the Year last year. So yeah,
Just by chance. Okay, that's wonderful. Rotarian of the Year. And your
yeah.
club is an international club for people all over the world. Well,
Yes, yes.
congratulations with that. Thank you so much. Would you
No problem.
like to say any last words when it comes to anything at all to our audience? And thank you so much for speaking about NGO and marketing and telling us about yourself. But any last words, sir?
There's a lot of nonprofits out there, I think, who should be on everyone's mind, but aren't. And you know, that's mostly because they don't have good marketing in place. I would encourage you to, even if you can, figure out some kind of commission deal with the marketer, right? Like, yeah, like I said, marketers are expensive, all right? So you work out a deal with them. Listen, any donation you bring in, I'll give you 5%. Okay, help us do a campaign and something. Work with marketers to enhance your presence online. Okay, or even in the physical sense, because at the end of the day, if you are, like I said, people in the nonprofit sector are extremely passionate. And I am sorry to say this, but a lot of people, I worry about certain people that I know. I think one day they're going to just, their health is going to fall apart because they spend so much time, even like I'm seeing someone post at 2 a.m. in the morning, all right, on LinkedIn, their time. This guy's in his 70s and he's posting at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's like, no, no, no. You have to have someone, you have to delegate, learn to delegate some of the work, hire a professional to get your marketing sorted so that you don't have to, you don't basically die on the job, all right? Okay. So, yeah.
Thank you, sir. I think that's so poignant. Love it. I want to thank you once again for being on our podcast, The
Thank
Business
you.
of Life. And as usual, it's such a delight. And I'm so, so happy to know you. And I'm looking forward to inviting you back again to talk about environment and to talk about what you're doing in Bangladesh, which
Sure.
is absolutely amazing. So hopefully our next
Sure.
conversation will be about that. Thank you to our audience.
Sure.
And please join us next time for The Business of Life. Thank you.
Thank you so much.